Hello, students and teachers. I hope you can hear me and see my screen. I think Mrs. Colby might be on this with me. So if she is, hopefully she will tell me it is working well. And I believe I am recording this. So we'll send that out as well, just so that you guys have, all the information if you need it and so forth. And I got a message that says you can hear me. Yay. Thank you so much, Mr. Sugarman. I'm going to wait just another minute or so, and then I'll actually get started. So hopefully everyone is zooming in and everything is working well. So, but I am excited to talk to you guys, and I should have all sophomores in on this Zoom. So excited to talk to you sophomores about registering for courses for next year. I know every year it seems like it's so early. It comes about quickly, but it's just something we have to start at the end of first semester. And what a kind of a crazy day to start, which actually, first day of second semester. But that's okay. We'll get it together and it will all be good. So I know there's a lot going on, but I do appreciate you guys all joining in and zooming in and everything, so that we can talk about all this together. And I'm still admitting a few people into the weight room there. So hopefully that's all good. But overall, I just wanted to make a note that really what today is about is to get you guys started in thinking about your interests and what kinds of classes might fit into your future interests regarding your future career. So I know future, but it's all good. And that's what, that's what we are starting to do. So again, just thinking about what you want to do after high school, because that is going to help you decide what courses to take now. The other thing I'd like to say in general is please, please, please take this seriously. This is a really important thing to do. And I know we do it every year, so I think some students start to dismiss it and think, oh, no big deal, I'll change my classes later. I'll talk to my friends, they'll take what they're taking and so on. That's not the best way to do it, you guys. Please think about this. It should be an individual thing. And you should take the courses, that interest you and that are best for you. So also really listen to those teachers' recommendations. A special shout out to all my online warriors. I hope they are Zooming in with us. You guys are not left out. You're not forgotten. Even though you're online, it's all good. That's I think the new way we're living these days. So if you guys have questions as this goes on, feel free to put questions in the chat, and then I will probably answer most of those, towards the end of all of this. And I'm not sure. Oh, there we go. Okay. So you should have received some handouts also in your class today. 3 of them stapled together. So important dates, we'll kind of go over those briefly. A practice course recommendation sheet. None of this is super new to you guys, but there are definitely some changes. And then your 4-year planning chart. So I wanted to go over all of those with you. I have a link to this handout here that, again, you probably have right in front of you. If you're an online warrior, these were, well, for all of you, these were emailed to you as well with the attachment from Dr. Renner, I think just probably 10 or 20 minutes ago. So you can look at more, look at this more carefully later. But this is the scheduling information for all students. Course description book has been updated, and it's accessible on Schoology and on the Marymount website. So that will be very helpful. Please don't take a course without knowing what you're getting into. It's too much, and maybe you've already experienced that. And it's kind of, it gets tough. You don't want to be in a course that is completely different from what you were expecting. It might be too difficult or just might not be your thing. So really read those course descriptions, and we have some really cool video links I'll share with you in a little bit. So just real quick, some new courses for this year, AP Environmental Science. Notice that sophomores can take that as well. So, lots of students can take that. Art 3, sometimes we rename our courses as well. So that's a renamed course. Human Experience and Cultural Perspectives is going to be a really cool English elective. So I'm sure your English teachers will tell you more about that. Where Broadcast Network 101 is a prerequisite for the WBN News and the WBN Casting. and great courses. If you have more questions about those, Mr. Eaton is your guy in general, but Mr. Sugarman is very knowledgeable about that, and we counselors can help you out as well. Some new course names. The art department changed a couple of course names, nothing too huge there. Special little note, not all elective courses are offered every year. So do check again your course description guide for that, as well as your course recommendation form that you have there. So that's the one with all the courses listed in the chart. Some important dates: January 22nd, February 4th. We'll go over those in a little bit. More importantly. So remember to watch the prerequisites. We try to set the computer up so that on scheduling day, it will not allow you to register for a course if you haven't had the prerequisite, but sometimes that doesn't always work. And then it's kind of a pain. If you're looking forward to taking this course and you can't, we hate to disappoint you. So really look at those prerequisites. They do matter. They do make a difference, and you will need to fulfill that requirement. Again, prerequisite means the course before the course you want to take. So for example, the 4 business courses, they have to go in a special order. So they, therefore they have a prerequisite. We'll talk about balance and overrides and PE and all this in a little bit, but know that that is one of the handouts that you have. Okay, so now I'm going to try to go back. Here we go. This is the practice scheduling worksheet. This is the same worksheet you're going to get on Friday morning in first bell. This one is your practice one. The one on Friday morning, you're going to write your name and your Warrior Ball teacher at the top, and you're going to go through each class, and each one of your teachers is going to recommend you for the level of class in their department for next year. So for example, in English, you guys are sophomores, you're probably in either English 2 CP right now, English 2 honors, and I think some of you may be an AP seminar. So your English teacher is going to recommend next year which English course you should take, which would be for juniors. And again, this is all in your course description book, but English 3 CP, AP English language, those are the two most common ones. And then of course, also notice in that box of English courses are all the other electives. So again, on Friday, we call it course recommendation day or teacher rec day. The teachers are not only going to recommend you for what course for next year, but they're also going to tell you about all the different electives. Don't just look at that paper and kind of dismiss it and think, well, I'm not interested in classic film. I don't know what that is. Well, so you should read about it, or ask your English teacher, and they're going to tell you a lot about that. And that's going to happen all day on Friday. So the mathematics teachers are going to go through all the math courses, science, and so on. I do really strongly recommend to students that you continue taking, I call it the 4 or even 5 academic courses. So English, math, science, and social studies, definitely those 4, because of course those are all graduation requirements also. But if you can continue in your world language courses, that is really very important as well. If you are considering going to college, world language is not required for graduation at Marymount High School, but colleges love to see, they say 2 to 3 years, but really the more the better. Okay, so again, we'll talk about balance in a minute, but if you like world language, absolutely keep going. That is very helpful. On the back of that paper that you have, again, probably you're probably holding it, are all of the other courses. So don't forget about all the great music classes we have at Marymount, a lot of great technology courses, business, health and PE we'll talk about in a minute. Do remember, sophomores, if you haven't taken your health class yet, it is a semester. It's a great course, but it is also required for graduation. So if you have been busy last year and this year with other classes, totally fine, but do make sure that you sign up for that. Next year would be great. If not, I mean, technically you can put it off till senior year, but not the best move. It always just makes me a little nervous with students doing that. Art courses, If I were in the classroom, I'd give you a little quiz. You guys are smart. I bet you know you need one art class to graduate. So one class at Marymount or one credit would be 2 semester courses. So if you took a semester course this year or last year, yes, you need to take another semester art course. Master class, great classes. Read up on that a little bit. The application for masterclass is in your Schoology course. I'll show you a little bit about that in a second. Masterclass is great because it's a little bit more independent work, so you do have to be ready for that and mature enough for that. Mr. Sugarman will always help you out with all of that. But it's really a time to explore what you want to explore. So if there's something you're interested in, or you're ever thinking, I wish Marymount had a class about XYZ, then that would be the time that you could maybe propose a master class. If you want to talk to Mr. Sugarman about it before actually doing the whole application, that works too. I know he'd be happy to talk to you and help you out with that. And then of course the WBN classes are on there. And then if you want a study hall, that's totally fine. You can mark it on your sheet. And then of course you would just pick 6 courses plus that study hall. You can take study hall for a semester or a year. You guys probably know that too. This is one of my favorite things. I hope this looks really familiar, and I hope you either update your 4-year plan every year. If you can't find yours, no worries. It was one of your handouts again today. So then just add to that. It is really important to keep track of all the courses you're taking. So you could jot in what you've taken 9th and 10th grades, and then, kind of pencil in 11th grade and 12th grade. The reason why that is so important is, if you remember a couple of minutes ago, I talked about prerequisites. So let's say you want to take AP Art senior year, AP Studio Art. You can't just jump into that, right? You need some courses before. So that's why you want to plan all of that out. And then of course on the left, in those left columns, it shows you what colleges recommend, and then the graduation requirements. And I think we kind of just went over most of those. 21 total credits needed to graduate, which isn't usually an issue with our Marymount students. You guys take a lot of classes and do really well. Earlier I mentioned balance. Please, please, please look at this balance. We live in a really stressful world right now, and I want you guys taking great classes. I want you to love them. I want you to challenge yourself and take an AP if you want to. But I will tell you, honestly, not very many people take 7 AP courses. In fact, I can't name one right now. Maybe we have a couple students who do that, but do not take 7 AP courses. That's not what colleges are looking for. They're looking for you to take 1 or 2, maybe 3. Some of you are going to take 4. Okay. But don't push yourself to do that. Look at what else you are doing throughout the school day, after school, all of that. Where is your time committed? If you're a 3-sport athlete, you're a very busy person. If you're in the fall play and the spring musical, and other choir or band commitments, you're a very busy person. If you have a job, I talk to students all the time who have a job, which is awesome. You're busy. So just really look for what is going to be best for me. You really, really, really need to focus on what is best for you and find that balance. If you are staying up until midnight every night doing homework and you're completely and utterly exhausted, you probably have too many classes, right? Too many difficult courses. On the other hand, when I talk to students and they say, oh yeah, I get home about 5 o'clock after such and such practice, or 6 o'clock after work, play video games for a few hours and probably do like 30 minutes worth of homework, and that student is getting all A's and B's, then I think to myself, you could challenge yourself more. So look for that challenge, to take an AP or so. And we counselors are always happy to talk to you guys about that as well. And talk to your teachers. When your teachers are talking to you all on Friday, ask questions. Ask them, how much homework is involved in this class? If I move up to AP, what's the difference from CP to AP? Some of those types of questions, and they will help you with that. So which classes should I take? I think we've touched on this a bit. Again, really focus on your possible future career or college major. Lots of students are undecided, which is completely fine. That's not a problem. But if you think you're kind of headed one direction or the other, take some classes in that direction. If you're not sure, you think, oh, I think I want to be an occupational therapist, but I don't know what courses to take, talk to your teachers, talk to your counselors. We will absolutely help you with that. Like I said earlier, definitely, read that course description guide and consult that, and look at the video. Again, I'm going to show you that in a minute. The videos are great. So the course description guide is wonderful. I know some students don't love to read that sort of thing, or they find it a little dry. So I think the videos are going to be very helpful as well. We did mention, I'm going to say it again, 6 credits, 6 credits, 6 credits. Please register for at least 6 credits. Colleges expect that. The military, if you're thinking about enlisting in the military someday, they want students who've taken a lot of courses in high school, not 2 study halls a year in general. And yep, strive for that balance. So let me show you this elective video link. This is super cool. Love how, see, it doesn't even, it looks awesome. So you can scroll through here, and it's done in like section by section. So the first section, fine arts, both performing and visual arts. And then there are some, and I think all these videos are probably about 2 minutes long. They're not long, crazy videos. And you've got the descriptions right here as well. So you could see some more information in a video about those art courses, photography and digital design, Art 3 we mentioned, AP Art History. I mean, that's a good one. Who knows what AP Art History is, right? So read about it, watch that video, and it does help you understand that a lot better. Stained glass. The music people gave some great descriptions. And then here's some more electives that we mentioned, I think, at the beginning. Engineering, don't forget about engineering. If you're interested at all in that, in college or something, take a course and see if you like it. I think that's really helpful. Master class, Mr. Sugarman's got a video on there for us, which is great. WBN, and then business and DECA, which is a really cool classes and really cool organization to be in. So I hope that you enjoy that as well. And that video link was also on the email that Dr. Renner sent you. It's kind of towards the bottom of that email. So you can just go on there, and we probably put it on Schoology. If we didn't, we can do that real quick. Oh, it is on Schoology. I remember seeing it. Just a plug for PE credit, nothing new. You guys probably know this, but please remember you must earn, you must do 2 PE waivers or 2 PE flex credits. You cannot mix and match those. So 2 waivers. Waivers the one where you're involved in a sport, including cheerleading, including marching band. You fill out a form, and then you get credit for it. You do not earn a credit, but you get credit for fulfilling your requirement. So that's cool. If you're not in those activities, but you want to do flex credit, that's fine. Flex credit also works really well for students who are in sports outside of the high school. So if you are in dance or gymnastics or something like that, you could absolutely use that for, there's some paperwork involved in it, but it's not horrible at all. And Mrs. Thomas will help you with that, and we can help you with it as well. But just remember those 2 PE credits, and that's required for graduation. So just don't forget about that. If you haven't done it yet, I would highly recommend you plan on doing that for next year again, so you don't forget about it. It just gets a little, seniors sometimes get stressed out when they're like, oh, I forgot to do my PE, I've got to go do that. So it's easier if you don't do that. Important dates, we mentioned this, Friday is the 22nd. So you're going to do the teacher recommendations in each class all day long. If you don't get recommended for the course you want, talk to that teacher. Maybe you stay after school to talk to him or her, or come down and talk to us counselors. What I like to say to students always is, let's say I wanted to get into AP environmental science, and the teacher didn't recommend me for whatever reason. Maybe the teacher said, oh, you need to participate more in class, or your homework's late a fair amount of time, or your homework's great, but I think you need to study more for tests. Use the time between now and this spring to see if you can change that teacher's mind. They can change their recommendations once in a while. So knock their socks off, academically speaking. But talk to your teacher so that you know and understand why. I know students who have talked to their teacher before and said, I'm bummed. I wanted to be in AP English. And sometimes the teacher will even say, oh, well, I didn't know that. Okay, well, why do you want to be in there? You have a conversation with them. It makes sense. And sometimes they can change the recommendation. Or again, I think they'll tell you what you need to do for that. February 4th, that's the day that you guys will do this during Warrior Bell. You'll actually come in, we'll give you some instructions on paper, and we're going to make a short video for you as well to put your courses actually into the computer system. You will not have time that day to sit there and think about, oh gosh, yeah, what classes do I want to take next year? You need to come in ready to go. So please fill out that worksheet that we gave you today and be thinking about, what your 7-bell day is going to look like so that when you come in on February 4th, and that's, I think, 2 weeks away, so you've got time, you'll be able to just do the computer aspect of that. Definitely put alternates in for electives. If the electives don't work out, because of it just doesn't fit in your schedule, and you don't put any alternates in, then we counselors end up choosing for you. And we'll do our best. We're actually pretty good at it. But, if you want to have control of that, you need to put in those alternates. And then just the last bit here, some more important dates, February 20, and this is all in your on your paper as well. But we'll send that verification home on February 25th, which means those are the courses you signed up for. You need to check them for us, and we'll ask you to sign and return that paper. May 4th, you'll get what we call a line schedule. Again, this is no different from the last few years. It'll be a list of all the courses which you have been scheduled for, but it doesn't tell you which bell or which teacher, but you just want to, again, double check and make sure those are the exact classes that you want. And then after May 14th, no schedule changes. We have to really make sure we stick to that so that we can get the schedule completed and balanced and all of that. So I hope all of that makes sense. And I'm going to look for, oh, good. I have a question here. Do performing arts courses count toward the art credit? Yes, great question. So our art courses at Marymount, any music course or visual arts course would count towards that art requirement. What other questions do you guys have? I'm not seeing any questions in my chat. That must mean I just knocked it out of the park, right? I hope so. Okay, I'm going to let you guys go so that you can watch that video with all of the electives. Again, that is on your in your Schoology course, your counseling Schoology course, and on the email that Dr. Renner just sent. And I have a couple of minutes. I think I'm going to try to run down just kind of through some of the classes and stop in and see if you have any questions. But definitely start to, to look at this. Oh, I got another question. What counts as an elective? That's a great question and kind of confusing in a way. Remember, you need 21 credits to graduate. So anything above and beyond the requirements technically is an elective. So something like, let's say you are taking your 5th math class. Even that's considered, a core class, it counts as an elective because you will have already met your 4 math class required courses. I hope that makes sense. Courses like that new English elective I mentioned, human experience and cultural perspectives. That doesn't count as a core English class or required. That's a half a credit of an elective course. Computer courses, technology courses, world language courses. So hopefully that will help you all. Okay, I'm going to sign off. I'm going to walk the hallways. And again, students, I hope you're excited about this. Be thinking completely about yourself, what you like, where your strengths are, and, just think about what those courses that you want to take for next year. So thanks so much for zooming in, you guys, and just let us know what other questions you have. Okay, bye-bye.